We're back. We're back.
I got
you guys miss me?
To the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do.
Did you miss me?
Racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch, a badass bitch. That don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do.
Good to be back.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch. That don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do.
Shout outs to Sharonda. She knows who she is. Sharonda's beautiful. Sharonda, the only girl I know looked like she got surgery, but it was all natural. Sharonda, I'm glad to say I know you. You know what I'm saying? Women like gems. Shout out to Nikki Thompson. I'm just shouting out anybody I see on my Facebook timeline.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch. That don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch. That don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. They shooting in the parking lot, everybody get low. They shooting in the parking lot, they ain't where you wanna go. Now stand by soldier, and let the work the motherfucking ass like I told you. Stand by soldier, and let the work the motherfucking ass like I told you.
What's up, Jackson Mitchell? I see you, Alfred Green. What's up, Ed the Great? I see you. If you on Instagram, follow me on Prosperity Plus. What up, Chris West? What up, Cool Kid? Cool Kid Zaza? How y'all doing? What's up? Let's get it poppin'. Let's go.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you want to do. I got racks to the ATM jam.
Y'all think we ready? What up, Chris West?
Oh,
what up, Lucia?
A badass bitch. That don't get swallowed in that fat ass.
Hi, Lucia.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you want to do.
Let's get started.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you want to do. I got racks to the ATM.
Let's begin. Welcome all to this multi-million-dollar podcast. You good, Chris? All right, that's good to hear. Welcome to this multi-million-dollar podcast. I'm your host, Kev Prosper, the owner and founder of Prosperity U LLC. You are tuned into Prosperity Plus, and tonight's show is Love and Money. Thank you for contributing to the Cash App above, $Prosperity ULLC. I know you see it. I know you see it. Thank you for visiting this website below at prosperunlimited.com. Prosperunlimited.com. Thank you for liking, subscribing, following, and sharing. Remember, we do this every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And remember to invest in the brand Prosperity ULLC. Build wealth, travel boldly, live royally. That's right, boys and girls. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. All right, welcome everybody. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Let's get started. First order of business I want to get out the way. It's been a slow news week. I want to talk about the Puffy trial. So where's my matter of fact, let me look up my search history. So I was looking up let me see. Or Diddy, the Diddy trial. Diddy trial verdict. Yeah. So I was what's good, Sands? What's up? I see you. Welcome. And remember, be sure to tune into Prosperity Plus. All the channels on Prosperity Plus. My website is in the chat. I put my website in the chat. So make sure you subscribe. All right. And follow Prosperity Plus on Instagram. I'm going to boost up the marketing with that. You guys are going to see it more often in more different places. So the Diddy trial. Let's talk about it. The sentencing is going to be on October 3rd. I did look it up. I got tired of hearing about it. I'm just like, yo, come on. All right, I knew he was going to beat the trial. I knew he was going to beat it. Now, was he going to avoid doing time? I don't know. I don't think so. Because the way they're on him, the way they were on him about it. Shout out to Jim Carl. Shout out to Zimba. Thank you for everybody tuning in to Love and Money Kev on TikTok. Thank you. If you're on TikTok, make sure you tap that screen. The way they were on him, the way they were trumping up charges against him and just calling out random witnesses and all the foolishness. They want to get him on something. That's the reality of it. Somebody has it out for him. Somebody wants to get him on something, right? Now, let me go back to my history, my search history. So the sentencing is on, the sentencing is all the way on October 3rd. So what? We're in July right now. July, August, October, August, September, October. So that's less than 4 months. Less than 4 months, roughly, maybe 3 months or so. And he only got convicted on traveling prostitutes across the state. You know what I'm saying? So basically, this is now setting a precedence that flying girls out is illegal. You know, I came up with that. I was, okay, so like, how can we loop that, right? How can we avoid that being a crime? Well, I figured, you can just instead, maybe not necessarily send the girl money. You can just maybe like, how would you send the girl money? Like, how would you, like, okay, if you buy a ticket for yourself and then maybe transfer it over into her name as a passenger, right? Like, I don't know. Like, will that work? I don't know. I mean, we could throw something at a wall and see what sticks. Matter of fact, hold on. I got to see. Now we got to AI it. So let's see. Let me pull up the Chat GPT. So if Diddy is convicted of Wait, what was he convicted of? AI mode. Yeah, go to AI mode. Why did it go to all mode? Okay. Diddy trial update. Back that up. Concluded. Split verdict. Jury found Combs guilty of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. So it's not necessarily sex trafficking, but acquitted him on the more serious charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. Charges. Convictions relate to transporting his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura and another, but to transporting to engage in prostitution. So that is that like, okay, I don't get it, because it's like, it's not is it prostitution or is it not? Transporting to engage. So you take a random civilian woman, buy her a ticket, you know what I'm saying, and bring her across state lines, right? You take a random woman, bring her across state lines, and then up until the point she crosses that state line, if she has sex, but if she has sex, she's not a prostitute. Only if she has sex for money. So if there's actual funds being transferred, right? Like, this is, you see what I'm saying? But they're going to try to convict him. So if Diddy is convicted of transportation to engage in, 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, will this set a precedence for making it illegal to fly girls out? I'm gonna say it in plain English. Question mark. Let's see what the Chat GPT says. Wait for it. If Diddy Sean Combs is convicted of transportation to engage in prostitution under the Federal Mann Act, it doesn't automatically criminalize flying escorts across state lines for consensual paid sex, but it does reinforce the law's applicability to those scenarios. It reinforces the law's applicability to those scenarios. Diddy's conviction and the man on July. Okay, we get that. Yeah. Will this set a legal precedent? Existing law already prohibits interstate transport for paid sex. Regardless of celebrity status, the Mann Act has long been used to prosecute precisely such activities, even consensual ones. Diddy's high-profile conviction is less about creating a new law, but more about reinforcing that the law is already enforced, even the highest echelons. Courts have historically applied the Mann Act to consensual prostitution cases, including. So you know what you got to do? You gotta make a promissory note on the back end, say like, yo, if you fly to me, I don't know how that's gonna work for the prostitutes. If you fly to me, I'm gonna give you a deposit. Just on the strength, I'm just gonna give you a deposit. You come to my town. You come to my town. Let's say if I live in Podunk, hole in the wall, middle of nowhere, right? You come to my town, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a deposit just for as a proffer, right? And so out of your own expenses, you fly to my town, and then I pay you on the back end. But the thing is, being as that prostitution is illegal, you can't. There's no like legal promissory statement that you can provide that will be that will uphold in any kind of court, any kind of civil or criminal court. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the fruit of a poisonous tree. Like, this is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible. No. So can people still fly escorts in? Technically, yes. Flying consensual adults for paid sex remains illegal under the federal law if it involves crossing state lines. But because it's rarely prosecuted, many viewed it as a gray area. Diddy's conviction signals that federal prosecutors will pursue these cases, especially when there are other aggravating factors: coercion, violent behavior, exploitation. So under the Mann Act, if you fly a girl out and let's say the shit goes wrong, let's say I don't know. Maybe she tries to put her hands on you, and then you try to defend yourself, and now you get hemmed up, right? Then that can expose. Then she could press charges on you, and then that could expose the Mann Act. So it's like, yo, how do you? So it's like, how do you get a girl to fly? How do you fly a girl in? You know what I'm saying? Either like you could give her the bread to buy the ticket, and you gotta trust her that she'll buy the ticket now. You see what I'm saying? Like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? You gotta trust her. Or you could buy the ticket in your name and then put it in her name. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Diddy's case signals a shift in enforcement strategy, sending a loud message that no one is above prosecution for, okay. It doesn't rewrite the statutes. Bottom line, flying someone across state lines for paid sex, already federal crime. Diddy's conviction, no new law. If you're flying girls out for prostitution across state lines, it's been technically illegal. Okay, so then, or you could fly a girl out. Maybe you don't necessarily have to fly out an actual prostitute. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you fly a girl out, you know what I'm saying, and she, let's say she is an escort, how do you pay her without it actually being a prostitutional transaction? See, these are the questions. These are the questions. These are the questions. So no one. So we gotta wait till October to find out how much time, if at any time at all, Diddy is gonna get. And like who wants to wait that long? I don't know. I know Diddy can't wait that long. I mean, he's going through enough already. God bless him. This whole trial is BS altogether. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to get I just wanted to do a little deep dive and get a better understanding of what that whole situation is all about. Let me get into a little lighthearted topic that I wanted to get into this evening. A little lighthearted topic I wanted to get into. Let me get it together. Hold on. All right. So let me bring it, slide it down right there, and then boom. Yeah. So let's get into this. The soft life. So the culturally, socially, the times are changing, right? The times are changing, and we can't deny. Shout out to Mike HG. Tap the screen on TikTok, guys. We can't deny, the climate and the times that we live in, and how, society has, or the culture has shifted, especially amongst black people. Black people, we are a historically oppressed people. No need for a history lesson. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And we're kind of learning what class feels like. We're learning what sophistication is. We're learning what authenticity is. And in a lot of ways, we're learning, I think we're still learning how to date. But lastly, I think last on the priority list, we need, I don't think we're learning, but we need to learn how to be a family. I think all this talk and back and forth and bickering and arguing and jibber jabbering and jousting and verbally jousting at each other amongst the black community, or whatever the black community may be. I think ultimately, if we need to learn how to be a family and what a family looks like. The reason, statistically it's been proven, women are typically the ones filing for divorces, the reconcilable differences. Me personally, I had to file for my divorce, but statistically, yes, it's the women who are filing for the divorces. Or just breaking up families, going to war they're stealing children. They're basically, that's basically, let's call a spade a shovel. They're stealing children. You know what I mean? We're going to call a spade a shovel. We're not going to bullshit at all. A lot of these women are comfortable with the idea of stealing children and breaking up families simply because they've never seen a family. They don't know what family is. Their only idea of family is their mom. That's it. That's as far as they can conceive family. And these women are products of their environment. They're an amalgam of their environment and their experiences. And so in a lot of ways you can't blame them, and in a lot of ways you can. And not just them, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these, and then on the flip side of that coin, you know, a lot of these men, you know, are likened, you know, they call them like hyena tribes, whereas, you know, everything is mama, right? And the women like it because that's how they feel empowered and secure, you know, where it's not that they're trying to be masculine, they're trying to be safe. So it's safe to where everybody depends on mama. It makes her feel safe because nobody's gonna leave mama, right? Nobody's going to, and so they enable the dependency of their children, and so these young boys are up under mama's skirt and under mama's tit, you know, and don't know how to be men. You know, it is what it is, and so they and because of that, you know, they kind of perpetuate and make it easy for these women to tear apart their families. You know what I mean? They may be very blasé about raising their children, and now, you know, in this day and age, we're realizing more and more that that's becoming more and more of a myth. You know what I mean? Black men are very, very contrary to any statistic or any theory or popular belief. Black men are very, very participative with their children. I happen to be a single father of a son myself. Let's say that. But, you know, nonetheless, you know, you have a lot of men, you know, I ain't gonna say a lot, a small percentage of men who don't know how to be men, frequently impregnating women and bearing children that they can't afford, you know. And so this, you know, when you mix this gumbo, this societal gumbo, the concept of family is very foreign. You know what I mean? But that's not what that's not what I want to focus on. I just wanted to lay that groundwork a little bit. I think ultimately I say all of that to say that black people need to make it more of a priority to learn what family is, as opposed to learning dating. So, in the process of all of this, thanks to women like Shira7, who I've known before she became this big internet personality. I knew her for a long time on the internet. I'm kind of proud to have known her that long and to watch her growth and watch her growth, and I admire it. I envy it to some degree, but I very much so admire it. She's been a big purveyor. She's been a big purveyor of, you know, this new age gold digging mentality. Well, I don't say it's new age, but it's just been popularized, so that makes it new age. It's new to a lot of women, to a lot of black women, right? And, you know, she's basically teaching these women how to pimp men, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Let's call a spade a shovel. You know, and you know, it's cool. It's kind of taking nature and putting nature into hyperdrive. Because, you know, men, when they want to give, right? You know, that's a man's nature, and men are the givers, women are the receivers, right? That's how nature's pretty much set up. So it makes sense, you know. But when you kind of over exaggerate and overdo or overemphasize things, you know, you kind of you become blind to the dark side. You become blind to the dark side of the moon, or the dark side of the coin, so to speak, you know. And it becomes unhealthy. It becomes unhealthy. And so, you know, it's from that gold digger mindset and how to pimp men and you know, and so on and so forth. Then you have what has spun out to become, you know, the soft life. You know, the internet kind of trends a lot of things, and that reverberates off of the internet. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you're very hard pressed to find a girl who's not on the internet like that, who has a friend who is on the internet like that, who knows that, who and amongst that friend circle, they all understand that when you go on a date, the guy has to pay for everything, or when they meet a guy or get with a guy, the guy has to pay 100% of the bills and things like these kind of tenets and mental thought pillars that they stand upon. You know, you're very hard pressed to find a group of girlfriends. If one of them subscribes to that mentality, pretty much all of them subscribe to that mentality, whether they're on the internet or not. You know what I mean? You can't deny it. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to give in under the weight of the consciousness of the mass, the consciousness of the masses. Shout out to Sandize Production. Shout out to you on TikTok. Yeah, you have to kind of give in to the consciousness. Say, well, they think that way and they think that way. They look at this is their perception of the world. You know, let me go along with it. Shout out to Gypsy Loves You. How you doing? I remember you, sis. Thank you for tuning in. You're very beautiful. I haven't forgotten you. You know who you are. Yeah, and so yeah, and so you know, whether they're on the internet like that or not, they're very well aware of these mental tenets. And so as a dating suitor, as someone coming into the dating market, you're gonna be bombarded with these mentalities. You know what I mean? And this is what people talk about. Shout out to Queen City. When you still work at the airport, what's up? You're gonna be bombarded with these mentalities. You're gonna be bombarded with women who you know, who share this consciousness, you know. And so as a man, how do you move through it? Where do you find the authenticity? Where do you find the genuineness? You know what I'm saying? Is this woman let me give you I don't even say a story, but I've come across women, I've come across a woman who does subscribe to this mentality, whether it may be directly from She-Ra 7 or one of her minions, so to speak, right? I like there's a young lady, she has beautiful lips. I followed her because of her lips, but she's on that type of time where she's all about getting that man to put you on a direct deposit system. Like, she goes straight to it, right? But I took her on a date. You know what I'm saying? Me, like, if I take you on a date, I'm pretty much trying to fuck. I'm not like, maybe that night if it's possible, but I don't really care to, like, unless I really like you like that. I'm not really trying to get to know you. I'm trying to get you comfortable enough to have sex with me. So I want you to get to know me. You know, like, I'm to the point my damn self. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I took her on a date. You know what I'm saying? So she could get familiar and so that I could get a good look at her body. You know what I mean? She wasn't too much my type. You know what I'm saying? She was heavy up top. You know what I mean? I appreciated that. I would, you know. I'm going kind of left here. I'm going a little left. But I kind of, you know, I when I look at the pornos and things, I kind of wish that I was a breast man so that I could appreciate what I'm looking at a little more. Because some of these girls, they have nice things, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, wow, that's really nice. That's grade A right there, you know. Boy, if I was a breast man, oh boy. But I'm not. It doesn't work. I appreciate it, but I don't appreciate it as much as I should, as a breast man would. You know what I mean? It just sucks. It sucks. I know. But keep going. Okay. But you know, I came across this lady, and you know, I'm very keen. I keep my ear to the street. I'm very keen on this mentality. You know, I'm very keen on the climate and how these girls are moving and talking and thinking. You know what I'm saying? And I can feel what they're doing. It's sort of like when you're in a fight. If you've ever been in a fight, and you can feel what your opponent is doing. If you get close enough to your opponent, you can feel what they're doing. You like, oh, you trying to move me this way. Oh, you trying to swing this way. Oh, this what we doing? Okay. I see this. I see what's up. I see the play. You know, and on like even on the date, I'm like, cause my pitch to her was, you know, she was like, you know, what you looking for, and I'm just like, well, you know, I'm looking for somebody I could go on vacation with. See, now that I don't think she caught on. I think she bit the bait, but she didn't really catch on to what I was really getting at when I asked her that. When I mentioned that to her, because what I'm really saying when I say somebody that I could take you on vacation with, because think about it. If you ever been on vacation, if you ever been on a romantic vacation, you know, if you ever been on a romantic vacation, what qualifies you to go on a vacation for that person to spend up to multiple days with you alone in paradise? You know what I'm saying? You have to be like, what would qualify you, or what would qualify them to be with you alone in paradise for multiple days at a time, eating, sleeping, drinking, and having sex, right? You gotta really like that person. You gotta really have a good vibe with that person and really get along with them, to be able to cohabitate with them, even in paradise. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm basically, when I say that, I'm basically evaluating her. Are you a dope enough chick? Are you dope enough for me to want to go on vacation with you? You know what I'm saying? And so she bit the bait because now she thinking, oh, he taking me on trips. Ew, like what? Oh my God. This is all she's hearing. Thank you, Gypsy. Thank you. Not talking too much. Okay. In reference to what? What are you talking about? But yeah, so that was what she was thinking. So she got curious and she wanted to kind of. I see Gypsy on YouTube. My bad. Keep going. It's funny. Okay. Oh, she double streaming. I appreciate it, Gypsy. Thank you so much. Thank you, girl. Salute to you. 21 gun. Shout out to Gypsy Loves. Shout out to Gypsy Loves. As far as qualifying to spend time. Oh yeah, qualifying to spend time on a vacation. Yeah. So she bit the bait. She thought, oh, he a baller man. He gonna take me on trips. Ew. And she didn't realize the bait. So now we on the date and she's talking about, well, I like. You know, I like for you to get me this and get me that and da. I'm like, get you and buy you what? Like what? Bitch, I just met you. Goddamn. You know. You know what I mean? Oh, you not on the YouTube right now? Okay. Oh, you not on YouTube? Oh, so my chat picks up the Twitter, the Tumblr. I mean, Tumblr. Wow, that's a long time ago. The TikTok. Okay, my bad. You're not on YouTube right now. You on TikTok. My bad, because I'm looking at my YouTube chat. I have a chat that picks up my YouTube, and Facebook and Twitch, and so I didn't know that it picks up the TikTok as well. But thank you though. Thank you for your participation. So yeah, and so now, like, you know, with these women and subscribing to this mentality, it kind of now makes me second guess myself on not necessarily expecting, because on the first date I'm not expecting sex. I don't expect sex until the second date. I'm just being real. But the way chicks expect you to buy them things and spend money on them, you know what I'm saying, without really knowing you like that or not even giving you any sex, it kind of forces you as a man to put yourself in their shoes, where, you know, you demanding or expecting sex from them without bonding with them or getting to know them like that in any fashion. You know what I'm saying? It's a fair trade. It really is a fair trade. And so this is the conflict. Whereas Whereas, dating in this day and age has become very transactional and prostitution. Like, I get that. I do get that. So like I said in the beginning, where is the authenticity? Where is the genuineness? And so what I wanted to get at today was, just recently I had a family. I hosted a family reunion, and my grandma's deceased. My mom is still here, thank God. And she mentioned about how, like, my grandmother, when my mother was a young girl, my grandmother used to tell her to cross her legs, be a lady, cross your legs, right? And she was under the impression that, I just need to sit and cross my legs. So I guess that's what my grandmother told me to do. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know. She's a little girl, and that's what she thought. You couldn't blame her, right? And then my mother said, as she got older, she realized what my grandmother really meant. It was, kind of like in all of her elderly wisdom, what my grandmother was trying to tell my mother by quote unquote crossing your legs. And so when you look at all of these, the She-Ra 7s of the internet, they tell you how to cosmetically and outwardly present yourself, right? But and for a lot of women, that's a start. Okay, fine, cool. You're learning how to wear makeup. You're learning how to walk in heels. You're learning how to wear a dress. Cool beans. I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? Testing. Okay, we back. My mic. Gotta get a new mic. But yeah. However, these are just cosmetic shifts. The shift has to occur inward. The shift has to become inward. It's backwards to focus on your outer. It's backwards to get surgeries to try to be beautiful and to try to try to be accepted by rich men when you're ugly on the inside. The inside is eventually going to come out. You know what I'm saying? No matter how many surgeries you get, no matter how many outfits you wear and how many shoes you put on, you know what I'm saying? What's on the inside will always show. No matter what you do. So what my grandmother was really trying to school this is what my mother explaining it to me, was when you present yourself a certain way, you attract a certain type of man. You know what I mean? So she didn't realize what she was doing as a little girl by just sitting there crossing her legs, And then I saw it firsthand where there was another young lady at the family reunion. No names, you know what I'm saying? If any of my family members watching. But she didn't necessarily have those manners, and she was just sitting there like I'm sitting there like a man, like a dude, you know what I'm saying? Legs, my cousin, he's sitting there like a dude, you know what I'm saying? And this young lady, she had to be no older than 14 maybe, you know what I'm saying? Sitting there like a dude, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just seeing how it looked. And this is before I had the conversation with my mom, with her reminiscing about my grandmother. And I'm checking her. I'm like, yo, you see how me and my cousin over here sitting? Why you sitting like that? You're not supposed to sit the way we sitting. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a lady. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then later that day, my mother, later that day, my mother talks about my grandmother telling her to cross her legs. You know what I mean? And as a young girl, my mother took it as, just sitting with your legs crossed. But it would also be, the double entendre was that you cross your legs, you don't let just any dude hit, right? Like that was the thing too. And so the moral of the story is, thank you for the likes. Shout outs to Carber123. Thank you on TikTok. The moral of the story is, if you want to be feminine, if you want to be soft, it has to start from the inside out. It has to start from the inside out. You could try to run game, and let me finish this. I'm all over the place. I should have took notes. I should have wrote down talking notes, but I want to be organic. Respectability politics is dead. Okay, that's a good way to phrase it. Thank you, Gypsy. Respectability politics. Yeah, that's a good way to phrase it. I don't think it's dead. It's only dead to those who no longer use it, because I guarantee the first young lady who applies respectability politics, you know what I'm saying, is going to get she'll be the martyr per se. You know what I'm saying? She'll be, she'll get the pick me label, and she'll get the who she thinks she is label, and girl, you better get to the bag. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying, that girl who is solid within herself, you know what I mean, and within the type of man that she wants, you know what I mean? Because listen, those women who sell their souls and who sell their souls for surgeries and sell their souls to be slutted out on yachts, you know what I mean? There's a place for those women, and they have a purpose in life. You know what I mean? Like it's an ecosystem. It's like the jungle. You know what I mean? You have these animals over there who serve this function, and these animals over there that serve that function, and you know what I mean? And it's a large ecosystem, and those girls who are solid within themselves and understand that their soul is worth more. Their soul is worth more than diamonds and gold. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it just did. I had to roll with it. You know what I mean? Their soul is worth more than diamonds and gold, and the riches that are for them, they shall receive. I'll put it to you that way. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of similar to what I talked about. I talked about women who have sex for free. You know what I mean? And like in this day and age, you would consider them to be stupid, right? Like, but that's not really the case. Those women, they have a deeper understanding of the value of sex. No pun intended. You know what I mean? They understand it, and they know that they understand what their sexual experience should be. You know what I mean? Now have all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, right? I'm pretty sure that there are those women who have, who have sold themselves at one point in time. Maybe their backs were against the wall. They were in a struggle situation. It is what it is, right? But if you understand the value of sex, and if you understand the value of a man's love, I'm all over the place, but it's all right. I think this is all tied in. Oh, my son trying to get on the Netflix. Hold on. I'm back. Yeah. What was I talking about? So, dang, I forgot my point. If you tuned in right now, refresh my memory on what I was talking about. I got thrown off by this phone call. But, the value, women understanding the value of sex, and the women who have sex for free, like, are they stupid or are they conscious? Are they aware? When you understand the value of sex and you understand the value of a man's love, you know what I'm saying? You look at sex differently. You don't put a price tag on your sex. You know what I mean? And you understand how it's hard to really enjoy sex when you know that and as soon as he's done, the money's gonna be on the dresser. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to really enjoy sex when you know that I don't really know him that well, and he really wants to have sex with me. So I'm just gonna take this money and pay my bills off. Like how you know, because sex, I think for either gender, sex is supposed to be the most pleasurable feeling on earth, right? It's supposed to be one of the most, you know. And so how can you really enjoy it if you just transacting it? You know what I mean? But cause you know, no prostitute wants to be a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? Now you know you got those soldiers out there, but those women are just broken. Cause if they had the choice to do it all over again, they probably, you know, get married and have kids and start a family and be a homemaker. You know, if it was up to them, if they could wave a magic Harry Potter wand. You know what I'm saying? But they're in this life. They're probably in a life that chose them, that they didn't necessarily choose. And so yeah, this is what sex is to them. You know what I'm saying? So now they have to get to a point where they just don't want to have sex at all. You know what I mean? So that they can refresh their bodies and their spirit and their memory on what sex should be and what it should feel like. You know what I mean? And a lot of those women end up losing their minds. You know what I'm saying? Let's. It is what it is. You know, all of those spirits and those energies flowing through you. You're a womb. You know what I mean? It does damage you. So yeah. So you know, you have the women who have sex for free, right? And you know, they understand the value of sex. They understand the value, the genuineness and the authenticity of sex and how good it should feel with a man and the value of a man's love. You know what I mean? Because the point out before I got that phone call, the point I was going to make is, you know, you could like you have a man's love and a child's love, right? You bear that child, you carry that child in your belly for 9 months, and you grow an attachment to the child. The child has no clue who you are. The child is completely dependent upon you, and you call it love. When really the child is just dependent. But a man's love comes from God. Because a man has no obligation to you. He could be your husband one day. He could be that nigga in the house the next, right? So if he loves you and he shows that love to you, and you know what that love feels like, for you to shun it and turn it away, you turning away God. You know what I'm saying? You rejecting God. Because a man's love comes from God. What the Bible say? God is love, right? Yeah. And so and a man's love is authentic and genuine. I think those are the two key words of tonight's show: authentic and genuine. Authentic and genuine. Authentic, genuine. Authentic, genuine. How do we be authentic and genuine in this social climate that we're in? You know what I'm saying? Where everybody's in it for business and everybody's trying to be a businessman, and women ain't built for that. A lot of you women ain't built for the kind of lifestyle y'all trying to live. Y'all gotta learn. Y'all gonna figure that out. That's why I brought up, you know what I'm saying, the topic of the women who have sex for free. But yeah. Authenticity and genuineness. What my grandmother meant by quote unquote telling my mom to close your legs, be a lady, right? Close your legs. And you know, and so yeah, and what that does is it sends a signal to the right type of or I ain't gonna say the right type of guy, but a different type of guy. When you carry yourself a certain way, when you present yourself a certain way, you know. But however, the work has to be done from the inside out. It has to be done from the inside out. So, what do y'all think? What did y'all? It's called paid audition. She gets paid to play the role. What you talk? Is Gypsy, you still here? I wonder what she's talking about. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions? I want to open the floor for questions. Does anybody tuned in have any questions? If there are no questions, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning into this multi-million dollar stream. I'm your host, Kev Prosper, the owner and founder of Prosperity U LLC. You are tuned into Love and Money, the podcast of Prosperity U LLC. Thank you for contributing to the Cash App above at $ Prosperity U LLC. Thank you for visiting this website below at prosperunlimited.com. Thank you for liking, subscribing, following, and sharing. Remember, we do this every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And remember to invest in the brand Prosperity ULLC. Build wealth, travel boldly, live royally. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Be sure to shop Amazon with Prosperity ULLC. Link in the description.
These are all of my books. My very first book, Read the Fairy Tales Up to Disney, The Reality of Dating. Haunted Truths, a romance murder mystery set in the heart of Brooklyn during the 1980s, during the height of the crack era. Switch, my romantic comedy. My trilogy, Spirit of the Machine, 1, 2, and 3, sci-fi action thriller. My poem anthology, Red Garden. That is System of the Sun. That's my book on organizational skills. Don't wait till I get rich to buy that book. New Shoes. That's my book on self-esteem, on how to love yourself. Ratchetology. Yes, I'm the Ratchetologist. Take my advice. Visit ProsperUnlimited.com and click Travel to book your next vacation.
Do that freaky jam on the beat. Shitty with that butter shit, that bone feed. Did you double do that song sing. Flicky sticky with some butter, so that bone sing. If you cheeky cheddar chuck, I get her own cheese. It's a chicken with that head or this that won't be with the official with that whole sleeve. Bloody feet, tether, wish that with that long.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch, If I don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch, I got